Are you really poor or just playing the part? Today it's not about money anymore. It's an identity, a role millions perform on TikTok, on Instagram, and in real life. I'm broke, but stylish. I've got no money, but I've got a Gucci belt. I don't care about being rich. I'm all about the vibes. But here's the harsh truth. The poverty role is the most toxic form of luxury because while it soothes your ego, it quietly locks you in invisible chains and it cuts off your path to wealth. Now we're tearing off the mask of this role play and exposing how you've been programming yourself for poverty. Day by day, post by post, excuse by excuse. Once, being poor meant having nothing to eat. Today, poverty has become a fashion statement, worn proudly for the world to see. The less you work, the cooler you seem. The more you reject money, the more authentic you appear. The louder you curse the system, the more applause you get. This is the modern poverty act, a perfectly choreographed show of self-pity, a digital performance, carefully curated for sympathy. And the most ironic part? It's expensive to play poor. $300 sneakers, yet they say, I can't afford to invest. A $1,200 smartphone, used 4 hours a day to complain on TikTok about life's unfairness. A luxury brand handbag, while posting, no money for coffee, donation links. That's not poverty, that's self-sabotage disguised as identity. I don't even want to be rich. Money doesn't bring happiness. All rich people are corrupt anyway. Sound familiar? Because those lines don't come from deep philosophy. They come from self-defense. It's the modern psychological armor. If you devalue wealth, you don't have to admit it feels out of reach. If you look down on success, you don't have to face your own failures. If you proudly embrace poverty, it looks like a choice, not a limitation. This is what psychology calls cognitive dissonance. When you can't get what you want, you convince yourself you never wanted it. And that's how the proud poor persona is born. The one who believes they're wiser than the money-hungry. The one who rejects wealth from a place of moral superiority. And the one who earns applause from others trapped in the same role. But that applause isn't freedom. It's a chain. Because as long as you keep playing that character, you'll never escape it. The proud poor mindset doesn't truly reject wealth. It hides from it. It's easier to say money doesn't matter than to admit you never learned how to earn it. Easier to romanticize struggle than to build discipline. Easier to call the system unfair than to outgrow it. That's not humility. It's emotional camouflage. A way to feel superior while staying stuck. A story told to avoid the discomfort of change. And the longer you tell it, the more real it becomes. Until poverty is no longer your circumstance, but your identity. It's not just about how much money you have, but what you think about it, how you treat it, and what role it plays in your life. Because money isn't just a currency. Money is a mirror. Money is power dynamics. Money is an identity-shaping force. If you were taught as a child that money is dirty, you'll carry guilt every time you earn it. If you grew up hearing, we'll never have enough, you'll subconsciously believe you don't deserve it. And this isn't spiritual talk, it's neurological patterning. Your financial habits are wired into your nervous system. Your words, your decisions, your reactions, they're not really about money, they're about you. If you spend your paycheck almost immediately, it might mean your sense of safety is weak, and money feels like survival, not creation. If you can't ask for a raise, You may believe, deep down, that you're not worth more. If you keep blaming others for your financial situation, you probably haven't taken full responsibility for your life yet. The question isn't whether it's bad to have little money right now. The real question is, what story are you telling yourself about it? Are you playing a role or building a system? Those who only try to survive will always choose a role. Those who build consciously choose an identity and then shape their life around it. Not everyone pretends to be poor. Some people really come from it. But what you rarely hear is this: poverty isn't just a financial condition. It's an emotional imprint, one you've carried since childhood. And that imprint, that trauma, keeps pulling you back. Think about it. Did you ever stay silent in a store because you knew your parents couldn't afford what you wanted? How many times did you hear, "We're not the kind of people who can buy that"? Do you remember how it felt when your shoes, your coat, or even your lunch made you feel embarrassed? Those moments don't disappear, they burn in. And as an adult, it's not that you don't walk into luxury stores because you lack money. It's because the child in you still whispers, "This world isn't for me." These are deep-rooted patterns. If I have more money, people will leave me. If I become successful, they'll look down on me. If I get rich, I won't be myself anymore. It doesn't sound logical, and it doesn't have to, because these aren't thoughts. They're emotions attached to money, and until they're spoken and healed, they run your life. You underprice yourself. You delay investments. You refuse help, opportunities, or even gifts. That's not laziness. That's programming. A script written long before you were aware of it. Why rich people habits don't work for everyone. You're not stuck because you don't wake up at 5 a.m. You're stuck because the system was never built for you. It burned into you a hidden break, one that keeps you from even wanting what you truly desire. The rich aren't rich because they meditated more. They were raised in a different environment, taught different patterns, or had the courage to break their own. Money isn't taboo, but poverty has become one. Because no one wants to talk about it. The motivational world keeps shouting, "You can be rich," but it never tells you what's standing in your way, inside you. That inner world is the first thing you need to clean up. Financial success doesn't start with spreadsheets. It starts when you finally say the sentences that have held you back. It's not shameful to have had little. It's not a sin to want more. And you won't become someone else when you succeed, only who you were meant to be. Don't play a role, not the fake poor and not the overcompensating rich. Start being honest with yourself, with money, with your past. That's the first step to being defined not by your history, but by your decisions. Listen closely. Most people aren't poor because they're lazy. They're poor because no one ever taught them how money really works. And it's not because they forgot to teach it. It's because they never wanted to. Behind the curtain, imagine if the masses understood how compound interest actually grows, the difference between good and bad debt, how the stock market, real estate, and cash flow operate, and how billionaires legally minimize taxes. What would happen? The system would start to collapse because too many people would try to rise. That's why schools don't teach it. That's why the news never mentions it. That's why your idea of money has been distorted, because knowledge is power, especially when it's about money, and power is never shared. Here's the twist. The financially ignorant person is the perfect consumer, always buys the newest iPhone, on credit, buys designer shoes for status, not wealth, spends everything they earn, and even what they don't, watches inflation eat their savings and still asks, "Why don't I have more money?" Meanwhile, the rich know exactly what they're doing. Money isn't spent, it's circulated. Luxury items aren't bought from salary, but from passive income. They don't buy new phones every year. They buy companies, stocks, and property. And when a new Rolex does appear on their wrist, it's often written off as a tax-deductible business expense. And the biggest lie of all, that if you just work hard enough, you'll eventually reach them. But as long as you don't understand the rules of the game, you're the game piece. Financial ignorance is one of the most expensive things in the world. You won't see its price tag in a store, but you'll pay it every single month. In debt, in overpriced products, in missed opportunities, and in the lifetime you spend building someone else's system, not your own. The world runs on systems, not on people, not on opinions. Systems. And if you don't build your own, you'll spend your life working inside someone else's. But what does that really mean? A wealthy person has a system, a company that profits from other people's time, capital that earns money even while they sleep, a network you'll never have access to, and a legal structure that protects their wealth and hides it from you. And what do you have? A job that can disappear overnight, a salary that makes others rich, a bank account eaten by inflation, and a dream that you'll never realize because no one ever taught you how. If you had knowledge, you'd know how to build a company, not just a hobby. You'd know how to use money as power, not as a goal. You'd understand that money isn't the destination, but the tool for freedom, time, and control. The system of the rich looks like this: multiple income sources, not one, 5 or more. Tax optimization, not trickery, strategy. Passive income, consistent, not accidental. Protection, legal shields, corporate structures, foundations. Influence, connections, lobbying, PR. So when does your system begin? You don't need to be a billionaire, but you do need to think like one. And here's the key: building a system isn't a superpower. Knowledge can be learned, but no one gives it away for free. The elite aren't stupid. They know exactly how to keep the masses distracted. Because while you're scrolling through motivational clips on TikTok, they're already registering a new company in the Cayman Islands. Now you know, you're not on the outside because you're less. You're on the outside because no one ever taught you how to get in. And that's not your fault. But once you see the truth, it becomes your responsibility. What can you do now? 1. Turn off the noise. Motivational bullshit doesn't build systems, it sells illusions. 2. Learn to think differently. Financial knowledge isn't a luxury, it's survival. Books, podcasts, market analyses, that's your new Netflix. 3. Build something that doesn't depend on you. A business, an automated process, a digital product, something that keeps working while you sleep. 4. Don't copy the habits of the rich. Copy their strategies, their systems, not their morning coffee, their tax structure. And finally, you don't have to be a billionaire, but you do have to decide whether you'll be a spectator or a player, because the game has already begun. And there are only 2 roles in it: the ones who use the system and the ones who are used by it. If you've made it this far, there's one thing you already know: you don't want to be on the wrong side anymore. And if that's true, then it's time to start building your own world. Now. If this video made you think, if it showed you a world you always felt was real but no one ever dared to explain, then you're exactly where you need to be. Fake Off Luxury isn't about admiration, it's about revelation. We uncover the systems the elite will never discuss and reveal what luxury really means behind the curtain. If you're ready to see more, subscribe, give it a like, turn on notifications, and stay with us. Because in this world, those who know the rules play a completely different game.